Hey, what's going on, folks and folks? Now, I'm hoping we're live and the show is going on. If you are watching this show, I feel like a public service announcement. If you're watching this show, good. Text me, for those of you that know my phone number. I'm not giving it out publicly, not to all three of my listeners. Let me know if the show is airing, because I don't see it here, and it is concerning to me. And I'm trying to see why that is the case. But let's see. So give me a second. Feel free to text me, tell me what's going on. And I will see if it's, I'm going to log back in and see what's going on here. And let's check it out and see if we are in fact live. And if not, we'll have to do something to alleviate that problem. Oh no. Let me see. Let's check it out. And since we're 2 minutes on, let's check it out. Feel free to write in, call in. I'm trying to see. It says live, but I'm trying to see if the show is actually on or not. Oh, there we go. We're going to check that out. We have people working on that now. Oh, that's not what we want to do. And I'm wondering what's going on here. I feel like it's not on. Let me call the boss. Everybody hold on. Everybody don't freak out. We'll do what we can. We're trying to freak out. Alright, looks like it's running, so we're doing alright. I just don't see it where I could share it, which is odd. Which is very odd. I don't know. It's really weird. Sometimes I get like this, and sometimes I can't see the videos for the show, and I wanted to share the show. Let me try to share it one more time and see if, and we're waiting on our partner in crime anyway. You know, Steve-O might make a join here. Yep, I don't see it. I don't see it. You know, that's the problem with this site and these things. I got to talk to these guys. I don't know if they know what they're doing. But anyway, welcome to the Steve Square Show. If you are watching, it's 6:35. We're trying to figure out what's going on here and why things are a little, shall we say, awkward with the show. I'm not really sure. Are they making me subscribe? I hope not. Oh, okay. So it says it's good. But they say it's running. So we'll have to do that. Maybe. Let me check one other thing. Maybe I could share it here. I want to see if it's on there. Let's see if we check it. I'm going to check one. You guys just keep to yourselves for a minute. Oh boy. Oh yeah, so it's going here. We're rocking here. So the show looks good. Looks like it's working. It says live, so that's good. So it's going here. We're rocking here. So the show looks good. Looks like it's working. I'm going to copy the link. It says live, so that's good. And I'm going to, that's weird. I was like watching it at the same time. And I'm going to share it on my Facebook. So everybody just chill out. Give me a moment. And so let's go on there. And there we go. Yeah, we'll share the show. All right, whatever. Anyway, hope everybody's had a good week. Great to see you all. It is, what is today? September 16th. We had a beautiful week of weather. Fantastic. Just gorgeous outside. And if you look outside now, it's getting a little bit evening. So hope all of you are enjoying. Did something this weekend? Did you do something? I'll tell you what I did in a moment. What did you do? Did you go out? This was I think it was the last weekend for the beaches for having a lifeguard. You can continue to go to the beaches at your own risk. So if you feel like, just ending it all, or, you just want to drown yourself, just go ahead. Those lifeguards are not paying attention half the time anyway, so don't worry about it. No, they do a wonderful job. Who are we kidding? So let's see what I did this weekend. I'm getting ready for my race. So I went running Saturday, and that was, a little. I'm a very competitive person. And I always say don't be. So I say just do your run, do it against yourself, your own time, don't stress it, nice and easy. So I start running, and I don't like people passing me. That bothers me. I start getting like annoyed. It upsets me. I like to, when I'm running, run. So I'm running, and all of a sudden this guy comes up on my left, and he passes me, and he's pushing a carriage, like a stroller. And I'm doing a pretty, not to, toot my own horn, but I'm doing a pretty nice pace. I'm pacing it out. And this guy passes me. So, and he's like flying. Young guy, probably in his 30s. And I'm like, what? He's pushing a baby carriage? He's doing like an 8-minute mile. He's like flying. If he hits a bump, that baby's going flying. I never saw what was in the carriage, so I don't know what he was pushing. I hope there was not a baby in there, because this guy was not. I'm really curious to know. But at first I was like, this guy just blew by me pushing a baby. But maybe I'm hoping that there was something else in that stroller. Maybe he had weights and he was trying to do so. I don't know. He looked like the kind of jerky guy that would do that. But that's me. I get very competitive on the course, on the path. It bothered me. What are you gonna do? Anyway, how is everybody doing? I'm sorry for the disjointed start to the show. We were trying to get ourselves set. And let's see what we got. I just want to tune up something for you all. There you go. So anyway, so what do we got on the agenda for today? Oh my gosh! Also, listen to this. There's a little footnote, and if Steve comes, he would be good to speak on this too. There's been a rash of break-ins in the Massapequa area. People breaking into cars at night. This happened to somebody I know in Massapequa. Their car, they didn't lock their cars, so people got into their car after, late at night, in the middle of the night. And this was apparently a rash of these. And if you look down below, I have a link to cure that rash. It's a wonderful cream. You should try it. But this is happening. You got to lock your door. Lock your car door. And to be honest, this happened to me a while back in my Jeep. And I don't keep anything in there except for some change or whatever. But I remember it's that first confusion, right? I went into the car and I said, "What is did I leave the glove compartment open? And then the console, you start thinking, why does things look? And you're like, oh boy. And that happened to me one time. I forgot to lock my Jeep. So you think in suburbia Long Island, I mean, this is not, we're not in the boogie down central here, but you know what? Crime happens everywhere, whether it's kids or anybody. So just be diligent, be careful. That's my public service announcement of the day. Speaking of public service announcements, we have joining us shortly, momentarily, someone that has served the public in many forms, whether it be coffee or just his delightful humor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Steve Squared Show. You know, on the other side of the square, the equation that can't be solved without both Mr. Steve.
Thank you very much.
What's
That's
up,
very
buddy?
nice of you. Hey, buddy.
What's going on? I like the, are you oh no, you're going to the hat so early? And is it already cold out?
It's not particularly cold.
Or is it just a look?
It's a look.
It's more the look. You're looking, were you at the gym? You look like you have a gym look on you.
I might be going to the gym later.
Oh, after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. You look charged up. You got Under Armour on, which is always
Yep.
a sign.
You know, I'll tell you, Steve, I don't know much.
What are you, Aaron Neville? I'm sorry.
Linda Ronstadt,
Okay.
thank you. But I feel good.
Okay, you look good. You're looking good.
I
You
look good. I feel good.
And gosh darn it,
You know,
I'm happy.
all these talks you've been telling me about, Steve, all these months you've been telling me. I kind of feel sometimes, I feel a little Jack in me now. I feel a little,
Feels a little Jack in him.
a little Jack LaLanne in me.
Speaking of a little Jack in him, our boy Justin Timberlake appeared. Did he said, and what he said? Look, just one drink. one. What can you do? One drink.
We know someone who used that
Right?
line
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, and now the person who says that is a recovering addict. Now.
Well,
so it's
So apparently, Justin, JT, as I like to call him, his friends call him JT.
in your favorite town. We know how much you love.
Now, was this
Your
in
kind of
Sag
town.
Harbor?
Sag Harbor is.
Oh, yeah, I love the people out in Sag Harbor.
Yeah.
We don't go in for much of that celebrity type here. We're a quiet community. We enjoy lunch,
Brunch.
maybe a little brunch on Sunday. That's exciting as it gets here. So when this music guy comes into our neighborhood recklessly driving,
You got your Keith Hernandez. Sometimes Julie Andrews comes to town.
oh, that's right, with her daughter.
Her daughter lives in Sag Harbor.
Her daughter lives in Sag Harbor.
With-
I've been to the Sag Harbor Theater.
Yes, I know. I know, right?
Yeah.
That's where you. I know. I was your adventures there. Trying to park there.
Let's move this over.
Thank you. Trying to park there.
Yes, they charge crazy. If you're going to see something at anywhere there, restaurants, that's a big money. You have to do. Now, what was confusing when I was there is they have the app. You can only pay for parking through the app.
Is that a bad thing?
No, I don't think it was bad, but there was no pay muni meters. They don't want that in the street. It's very tacky. And everybody had that look about them. They all had flowy, Bedouin-looking dresses. And all the guys had, the shorts just so coiffed. The hair was coiffed.
Sounds like Stepford.
Who?
Stepford.
Yes, it had a very Stepford feel.
Yes.
You could tell it was just oozing of money there, and I didn't belong there. I was out of place.
Steve, that's dumbbells. I mean,
They don't go for that sort of thing there. They're not impressed by dumbbells. So Justin pled guilty.
he did.
He threw himself on the mercy of the court, and this is, I have some audio of what had happened here. Let's see if I could bring that up for you for 1 second. Is the Wi-Fi good here?
I don't know who's the Wi-Fi. This is a library.
You would think it's good here, right?
Uh-oh. Here comes YouTube.
Nah, we'll be fine. This is just a little bit, yeah. They usually have the thing that you could stop that. I should have just did it on my thing.
Oh,
So, but I have it here. Hold on a second. So he was talking to the judge.
is that what it says?
Yeah. So the judge said, "How do you plead?" So that got him off. He did a little bit of that, and
I figured, yeah, you know.
now I looked up Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
I was went hashtagging.
Mm-hmm.
So which Justin? I'm going to ask you a question right off the bat. Which Justin do you think came up first? Timberlake or Bieber? Who do you think came up? Who do you think garners more that their hashtag would come up first?
What? So Timberlake or Bieber? Bieber.
Or the Bieber?
Or the Bieber. Bieber.
Bieber.
Not the Bieber.
Not the Bieber.
I'm gonna take a. Well, now. Well, he's been in the news
And
so much.
I just did it a minute, like two right before the show.
I'm gonna say Timberlake. No.
Bieber.
Bieber. Still Bieber.
Still, you can't get enough Bieber. Now, here's another question. I'm going on the Justin thing. Who has more felonies and who has more felonies as an artist? Who's got a longer rap sheet, Bieber or Timberlake?
I'll say the Bieb.
You're right.
The Bieb.
But this now brings Timberlake closer with this charge.
Mm.
But it says here. Okay. So I think this is. It says what to know.
Right.
I go right to the what to know.
What to know.
This is not what to know. They don't have a what to know. It just says, he's a 10-time Grammy winner.
Timberlake? Yes, he is.
And a 4-time convicted felon.
God.
So he pled guilty driving while impaired, which doesn't that sound a lot nicer than drunk driving? Driving while impaired.
I guess so. It sounds.
Doesn't that sound that pleasant? George Carlin would say that, right? Words mean something. It sounds so much nicer. Drunk driving.
Maybe.
Driving while impaired. I'm a little impaired.
We can get your face in just a little more here.
Is that better?
There we go. There we go. Because now
it felt awkward. Yeah.
That's very awkward.
So, driving while impaired. And this is nothing. He got a $500 fine. You think he'll be able to come up with that?
He's Justin Timberlake, but he did have a comment in a plea.
What was that?
So he said
in Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
That is
and
scary.
This is what's happening in our country.
He sounds a little different.
See, that's what Justin. What Justin said.
Oh, is that he said that was part of his after he sang "Sexy Back"? He told about he gave a pet warning.
I think that's a new addition. When you come back, we go back to the studio.
A little bit drops.
A little bit of the drops. Eating the dogs.
Eating the dogs.
They're eating cats.
When
the pets of the people.
Now it goes because the next morning after you've had a little bit too much to drink, aren't you supposed to eat the dog that bit you or something like that? What's that saying? You're supposed to have a little bit of the dog that bit you?
That's a hair of the dog.
Oh.
That's when you drink. That's what they call.
You don't go out and eat a dog.
That's you have another drink.
I thought you ran out and looked for something.
You have another alcohol.
And that takes away. Oh.
That's supposed to.
Oh.
For some people, that works.
Okay. That's
supposedly.
Enough about Justin Timberlake. On the bottom, though, here's breaking news. I know I've beat this story like a bad cold cut, but we have to say the boys had plants closed.
Only the one.
Just the Virginia
one. The
one
plant in Virginia.
Good.
Where the listeria was coming from.
Yeah. People don't like that in their food. I found out that I was doing a research on this.
Steve, I know you don't.
I don't enjoy
you don't like anything in your food, basically. I know that.
I don't like a little listeria in the food. And they said they're stopping production. Now, this is breaking news of liverwurst.
Period?
I don't know if it doesn't say
people love liverwurst, though, Steve.
I've never had it. Have you ever had it?
I did when I was a kid.
And now, what is it? It's obviously some form of liver.
Of course.
Is it? But is it a cold cut?
I guess they call it a cold cut. I don't know if it's I don't know. It's probably a mishmash of things.
I would say it's a compilation of a lot of unidentifiable things.
For some reason, we were given liverwurst sandwiches, and I mean, I kind of dealt with it, But
you remember did it taste good? Who gave this to you?
My mother.
Oh, okay.
But I don't really miss liverwurst. Of all the cold cuts, liverwurst is not on my.
I like the way you say it. Very Austrian, very Austrian.
Liverwurst.
It's unbelievable. I was eating liverwurst for days when I worked out. It was great. I'd go into the gym. I'd take 10 pounds of liverwurst. Look at me.
I feel fantastic.
It's unbelievable.
Deliverish.
Hey, I had listeria all over it. And look at me, I didn't care. You think I cared? I don't know. Bozhead, what do I care? Anyway.
I just want you to know.
What do I know?
You know, if we could go into fitness mode, because
Yes.
I got to tell you, I feel fantastic.
You look fit now.
I don't look. I just got through a cold this week.
I know.
But I
Put an order up.
and I didn't follow the diet perfectly.
But you look leaner. Something
But
about you looks leaner.
I look. You know what? First
You
thing.
look fantastic.
I look at myself without the shirt on. It's a lot of work to do.
Okay.
A lot of work to do. But there is a
You see a
feeling.
noticeable feel.
Okay, I know you say I should stop the sodas, but I haven't.
that a
really,
soda?
That's a soda.
All right.
I haven't stopped the diet sodas, but ever since I've done this, I've been on. I've dropped the calories.
Good.
I started with 2,100 calories.
That's low.
Then the next week I went to 2,000.
Wow.
I'm down to 1,900 a day. Now.
That's low.
19.
I mean, because you
Yeah,
were you
1900.
around around 2?
My weight?
Yeah.
I
Still
was
around 2?
August, right when I started doing this, I believe, what was I? I was 209.
209. And what are you now?
Today, I weighed in at 203.
You're getting to that one. You're going to break that barrier probably in a week or two.
I will see how that goes. It depends on whether it's
Fantastic.
water weight or anything like that.
But that's
But
the direction.
but the best feeling is, though I know I have a lot of work to do, but the best feeling is I don't feel bloated.
Right.
I don't feel bloated.
And you see, you have a lot more energy. You look good. You look like you're ready to go hit a workout.
I feel good. Steve, come with me to the gym tonight.
I'm telling
Come
you.
on, let's go.
Look, you got the hat on.
Let's go.
You got the grunge look, like he's going to just do
Come on,
damage in the
Steve.
gym.
Let's go.
And you know what? Yeah,
Back to the good old days. Let's do some incline.
we should do
incline
a late
presses.
night workout that we used to do, and just watch your eye. Just boom.
Steve.
We had an incident a while back, many years ago. Steve hurt himself on the barbell. That was an accident.
I'm pretty freaking clumsy.
Now, which eye was that? Do we still see any scar?
I think it was this. Might have been this one.
No scar.
I don't think so. Let me look at it.
So I was telling.
But I got another problem on the other eye from.
That was a different incident. That wasn't a workout related.
That was a brutal.
That was another incident.
Very
Speaking
brutal.
about one drink. But did you hear about this in Massapequa, in your neck of the woods? I forget the block's name, but it's by Big Daddy's.
Yes, Park
Right.
Lane.
Maybe down that block.
Mm-hmm.
There was my friend. She had her car broken into, and her daughter's car. Like, they went in, the doors weren't locked, so they went in and took whatever they could take, pocketbook. Somebody
Right.
left the door, left pocketbook, and then she went to find out some more information. There was a rash of them around the whole neighborhood.
What's her door locked or unlocked?
Unlocked. They forgot to lock it.
That's the thing now. This is what goes on now. The door is unlocked. They tell you to lock your door.
Of course.
Most of these car thefts that are, they're done by drug, not by career.
Right.
They're drug addicts.
Right.
Who don't have any money, and they don't want any trouble. They don't want to steal your
Right.
car. But then, if they can
Right.
just open your car door, they can go in there and
Look for
get
change, look for
anything,
money under the
anything.
seats. Yeah, exactly. They just
Anything
want
that they
anything.
can
So lock your car. And another thing, they're stealing those Cadillac converters out of cars
Yes.
and selling those.
Oh,
Those
that's
are-
been going on for a while.
That's a long time thing
Yeah.
too. But lock your cars. I mean,
Yes.
I've forgotten. That's happened to me. I've forgotten to lock the car. Jeff, our friend Jeff,
Yes.
went to the new the revived Bay Street Theater, South Bay Cinema.
The South Bay Cinema.
He went to go
Great-
see
yeah.
No Evil, Speak
Uh-huh.
No Evil, or something like that. I
Uh-huh.
thought that was a Gene Wilder movie, wasn't it? Or am I saying the title wrong?
That's you're getting confused. Yeah.
Anyway, I said, are they bringing that movie back? But no, it was with James McAvoy. It was a horror movie.
Yes. Yes.
And he said it was okay, but he said $10. Everything, $10.
I
This-
like that South Bay Cinema because as a kid one of the theaters we used to go to a lot.
And this one in Franklin Square. So it seems, is there space? Now, you know the whole thing about theaters and AMC and all of it better than me. Is there still room for these independent movie theaters? Can they survive charging $10? Can they show 3 movies?
Well,
How
I
do they
mean,
survive?
you know, all these big theater chains are living on blockbuster movies. I mean, it'd be interesting to see a neighborhood theater that can survive on not just showing blockbuster movies, but showing old movies,
Right.
classic movies, children's
It's probably the better way to
children's
go.
movies, and independent movies
Right.
to make it more of a variety of things.
Right, absolutely.
That's I think would be a good idea. And that South Bay Theater, it's only I think is it 2 theaters or
I think some more. I think because I looked it up to
Or is
see.
it
I think there's
3?
about 3 or 4
There's
theater
3.
movies showing,
Okay.
maybe 2 or 3. He said
Okay.
they're not all stadium seating.
Right.
Who cares? Are you a stadium seated person? Do you like the stadium seating?
um.
Which means what? It's
Well, I go
like
to-
this, right? Like
Yeah,
a
I go
stadium.
to AMC. They don't have stadium seating. The National Amusements, they have stadium seating. The Regals. I mean, I like stadium seating, but I mean, whatever.
That doesn't-
as long as I can,
no,
as long as I
yeah.
can sit and see a picture.
Right. I don't think that makes a
You and
difference.
I have gone to the Seaford Theater, which I don't know whether it's open or not.
I don't even know
But
if
it's
that's
just
open.
a flat.
Yeah.
It's just a flat
That's-
surface, and it's hard to watch
It's
a
hard,
movie in
yeah.
that. And I grew up in Massapequa, and we used to have a movie theater in the mall, which was very small boxes with flat floors.
I also heard there was another theater where the car dealership is on Sunrise Highway. Was
Yes,
that another movie
that was
theater?
that was the Piqua Theater.
Yes, that was.
Yes.
And they showed. So wow, there was like 3
That was
movie
a
theaters.
big. That was there. There were before the mall came in. There were a lot of movie theaters. There was that car dealership was the Piqua. Then there was one in Bar Harbor by Southgate.
Wow.
It would be kind of like approximately maybe where the Chase Bank is across the street
Okay.
from the high school.
I do know that.
There was the Bar Harbor Theater. There was the Jerry Lewis Twin over by where ShopRite is now,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
and North Massapequa, right next to your Marshalls, your
Yes.
favorite store.
Oh, I love
right,
Marshalls.
the on the side where you see the windows. That end of that Marshalls
Yeah.
store there. That was a movie theater.
Wow. And of course, Copeg had the drive-in, the all-weather
Copeg had
drive-in,
a
which was
drive-in.
almost Massapequa. So there was a lot of wow. And now there's what's left. Just
No, there's no movie theaters anywhere. It's only
Right.
the only thing we live on is like these big,
is going to
gigantic-
like on 110 or going
which
to
I don't mind,
Levittown.
but I would like to see more of a
It
variety.
is. I love this. I love the marquee. It's like that old time look. I love going to the
Yes.
and it's under
Very
new
nice.
ownership and management. So that's good. I'm very
Could
happy.
you see yourself
No. Oh, I thought you meant.
being a proprietor of a movie theater?
I might like that, and I'd wear like an old time fashion bib and tucker, like something like that. And, hello, come on in, like a carny.
How would you deal with the help, which probably would be mostly kids?
Oh well, I would always be good with that. I'm good
Mhm.
with kids.
You have them
Okay.
dressed in their tuxes.
Yeah, I'd have them, some kind of movie theater. I like vintage retro. I like to restore that way it was back in the day.
Mhm.
So where did I go? Which is a great theater, and I don't know if they're still there in the city. What's the big one in the city where they used to have the Follies?
Ziegfeld Follies.
Thank you.
Well, the Ziegfeld Theater, the one you went to, was the new theater. That was nothing like.
Right. Is
Yeah, no,
that
the
even
old
still
theater.
there?
Yes, it is. It kind of been. It's been kind of refurbished into
Okay.
some other kind of thing. But that theater lasted way into the 50s,
Wow.
and that was towards the end. NBC was using it as a studio. They did the Perry Como show from there. They did a number of shows from that.
The old
Ziegfeld
Ziegfeld?
Theater. Yeah,
The old Ziegfeld Theater.
Mhm.
I saw a movie. I went to see a couple of movies there, and it was very.
yeah. I saw some
yeah,
things there too.
It was good. What was I going to show?
Movie
There
theater
was
was nice, yeah.
Garland. Oh, so this is a pretty good story. I thought you might be interested in this. Bon Jovi.
How you like that?
Did you hear about this?
Yes, I did.
So there's a woman. Now this is the Bon Jovi. This is not
John Bon Jovi.
This is John Bon Jovi,
Jovi, right?
the Music Hall of Fame,
Yes, the Hall of Fame.
unbelievable
Rock and roll star.
rock and roll superstar. He's just hanging around.
Wine grower in the Hamptons.
Very nice. He persuaded a woman, and this is in Nashville. She was standing on a bridge, ready to end it. You're there, you're getting ready, and all of a sudden you hear, "Take my hand!" I swear.
You know,
Whoa! I did.
You know, it's so funny because I never read these things, but you always have the inside story about really what went on there. That's like,
Hey, you can't even believe that, right? She was ready to off herself, and all of a sudden you hear, Johnny used to work.
Yeah, then you got like Richie Sambora and Tico Torres following him along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the problem was he couldn't wait to get to the chorus because he didn't know how long he had. So he jumped right in and take my hand and make it ours. That was a long way to get to that terrible joke. It's a long road, my friend. Anyway, but that's a true story. It is a true story.
Yes.
But this bothers me. It says here in the story, it says, oh boy, it says John Bon Jovi and a video production assistant. I mean, they couldn't even name the guy. That's how he gets named, and he helps save a woman. They go, John Bon Jovi, Hall of Famer, and a production video assistant. I'm sure the guy was thrilled. Persuaded a woman standing on the ledge of a bridge in Nashville, Tennessee, to come back over the railing. Now, how do you think he did? Free tickets to a concert? Do they still perform Bon Jovi?
That they do.
What do they do?
I believe
They still on tour?
Yes.
It's a good thing he wasn't on tour then, or she would have been done.
No.
You know what it reminds me of? A scene from, you said you were going to call me. Hey, do me a favor, come back in. You're making me very nervous, Bobby. You're making me very nervous. You said you'd call me. Why didn't you call? Bobby, come on, we'll talk about it. Bobby C, come on. You're making me very nervous.
You know, it's so funny to watch you on camera here. And I literally had to think for a minute. I said, oh, Steve, I don't think Steve's in the library. I think he's in another room in the house. Because I love that lovely painting above us.
Oh, you like that painting? Now, that's actually, if you look at it from the right angle, that's where I run. That's the Massapequa Preserve. It's a little taken from a different angle. But you don't know we have cascading mountains.
And if you take a look.
Show us, Steve. Let me go to the, oh, you can see. We're good.
And if you take a look.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, this is where you run. Right. And there's the babbling brook. And there's the mountains.
The mountains. Yes, I didn't know we had a mountain range. Of course, that's right around the Seaford Oyster Bay. That's right on the other side.
Island is just so flat, except for the Massapequa Preserve.
Sure, I run up that
But do
mountain.
you see right on top, this point right here?
Yeah, what point is that?
Right here.
Yeah, I see.
This is where there was this girl who was about to jump off.
Yeah.
But John Bon Jovi was right there.
That's where he was.
Take my hand! Exactly.
He's everywhere.
He is.
This could be a new thing for him, saving lives.
It totally is.
He told you this? Now, I was looking at this. This is what, I never got to mention this on the last show. And again, I apologize. We haven't been in the studio. Tony's doing something very mysterious. They're filming a movie, or a short.
Right.
Him and I think his son is involved, and Tony's got a part in it. And but me asking him, I said, is this going to be big? And he goes, well, if I'm in it, it's not going to be that big. I said, Tony, come on.
Steve, you know,
I'm thinking they're doing the doc on, what's his name, Free Willy? What's the character he plays at the farm?
Farmer Willie.
No, Farmer Willy.
That's something like that. I forgot. I was, there you go.
I feel like we're not, I'm trying to get it angled good. So we're not, so I had to, utilize the library, which we don't want.
But, Steve, you and I both know Tony for years. I've probably known him longer.
You've known him a long time.
Yes. But you've not only known him, you've been a peer with him. You have worked.
I've worked with him.
Worked together. You've performed.
Yes.
Do you think that maybe there could have been a part in this little opus that he's working on right now?
Well, don't think I haven't felt slighted.
I mean, you're
slighted. Sure. And you remember, he's supposed to arrange, didn't he say I was going to get 5 minutes of stand-up or something?
I mean...
What happened to that?
I think I don't think he welched on that. I just think he just hasn't gotten a chance to do it yet.
By the way, they make a great grape jelly.
The Welched?
Welched. Fantastic. So, what do you think? James Earl Jones. I thought he had died years ago.
No.
So he just passed away?
Yes.
How old was he?
93.
You are right. Now, he's the legendary voice. I mean, this is the guy.
and a fine actor.
Fantastic actor. The voice is everything. Though. I mean, you know James Earl Jones. That's the voice. What was your favorite James Earl Jones voiceover or acting part, or did you have, he could have been the voiceover in The Lion King?
Well, he was a great actor, period. My God, just to think, you really need to see him. Most people nowadays only know him originally as Darth Vader, but he did so much more than that before him. He played the boxer Joe Johnson, was it?
Yeah. Oh, that was a way back when. Now it's funny they would
did that on Broadway.
Oh, on Broadway, right?
With
yeah,
Jane Alexander,
right.
And then it was made into a movie.
Right.
And
they just showed the other day, and I don't know if it seems like they're showing a couple of his movies, but they had Field of Dreams was on.
Right, Field of Dreams he's very good in.
And The Sandlot.
Sandlot he was in. It's a very small part. His first movie, I believe, was Dr. Strangelove. He was a very small part, but it was an important big part. This wasn't no Anchorman's part.
This was it says now this is interesting. It says with a childhood stutter, Jones was too embarrassed to speak.
Mm-hmm.
He overcame a childhood stutter. He worked with a high school teacher to regain his normal speech. And he said, I could not get enough of speaking, debating, orating, acting, Jones recalled. The actor would eventually be awarded Emmys, a Golden Globe, Tony, you name it. He got it. Lion King, he was the voice of Simba.
He was?
No, not Simba. Simba, whatever it was. But we like a little James Earl Jones.
Well, it was amazing. The first thing I remember seeing him in was when Sesame Street first came on. He was one of the first celebrities to come on, and he would read the alphabet or the numbers.
Yes, you told me that.
And that's the first time I saw him. And funny enough, the two people I remember when Sesame Street first came out who did that, and I didn't know who they were then, but my parents told me who they were when I was watching it. One was James Earl Jones doing the alphabet or the counting. The other one doing the alphabet and the counting was Burt Lancaster.
Well, that's fantastic.
And eventually you'd see these two again in Field of Dreams.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was Doc.
Yes.
I forget his name, but yes, he was the baseball player that became a doctor. That's right. That was Burt Lancaster. Tell me, this is good that you're here because I wanted your opinion on this. It says McDonald's rolls out cash kiosks. So what they're going to do away, or it's starting. This is very.
So now you're going to be able to put cash into the kiosks,
and that's how you pay. And they're going to do away with they're employed a lot of cashiers. So it says it says. And McDonald's Corp is inching closer to a future where human cashiers are no longer necessary.
It's not just happening there.
I know. I figured.
Because I've been off the junk for a few weeks now, but I can tell you, yes, you go into most McDonald's and there's nobody at the register. You just got to buy from the kiosk. And then,
you've seen the kiosks in the
yes,
McDonald's. So you've seen them actually in them.
And if you pay cash, but you don't put cash in the machine though. You got to go, if it's cash, you got to take your ticket up to the register and probably flag someone down maybe, and maybe they'll do that.
But there's something, what bothers me about this. And
I walked into Taco Bell also, by the way, and then you can go ahead. And I mean, since COVID, you walk in there, and nobody's at the registers, and they tell you, "Oh, here, go to the kiosk." They're not. They literally do not. They tell these. Look, do not bring these people up. Make them go to the kiosk
because they want to train them. It's like everything. The CVS. You checking yourself out. They never have a cashier there. They'd rather put somebody that's standing by those self-serve.
It's absolutely ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, I see the poor people. They sit there like this. And they have to sit there, and they can't go to the register, and there's a line.
I mean, you see them standing there, and it looks like their souls are being sucked.
What bothers me about all of this, or especially the McDonald's, is there's something about that his kind of Americana-esque of a kid getting their first job at a McDonald's, putting themselves through college.
Well-
Not that you could put yourself through college at McDonald's.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know what I mean. I mean, it's even portrayed in the movie How I Got Into College. You know, where she's the, I think it wasn't Tisha Campbell, whoever played that role. She's getting into college, you know, it's all like about that, and she's working at a McDonald's. That's what it was.
Right.
Is like, you know, you're working at hard, and
Well-
you're nicely dressed. Obviously, it's not that. That's the commercial image. But it takes away jobs from young kids that want to start out. I'm not saying this is going to take careers away, but,
Well,
you know.
then they're kids who are still working there.
No, I know they still, but if they're going towards a way where they're doing away, and you know they are.
They're not doing away with the people yet. They do have robotic soda machines now.
That's true. I know you. I've seen you buy them. Now, before I get to the main crux of this, I just wanted to ask you quick. So they're talking. This is a great little article here about, you know, they did that spacewalk.
Yeah.
You know, so it says one giant leap for mankind, some small change for a billionaire. So if you had this kind of money lying around, a couple of $100 million, not doing anything, would you get up in Elon Musk's SpaceX and float around
No,
for
I
a couple
wouldn't.
of seconds?
No, I wouldn't go near that. Maybe I would pay Elon to go up there.
Come on, you go up. He said it's fine, perfect.
Well, good. Then let him do it.
He said he
doesn't-
takes Visa, carte blanche, Discover, payment plan maybe. It's 4 easy payments. 4 easy.
How many sessions?
You know, I'm telling you, look, you do it now, will not only throw in the Space Force, right? You'll get yourself this beautiful patch attached to you that says you now are an official spacewalker. Oh, your friends.
You know, I'm sure it'd be
Tell
great.
me. You'll enjoy that.
Okay, Elon. And then Elon would introduce me to his sales manager, Sal, and Sal would guide me through the
Fine. So
financial.
It's usually one mission. You want to take a friend. You don't want to go alone. I understand. Maybe you have a friend. Two of you can go together and split the cost. Would you like some? Does that sound like something you didn't be interested in? Maybe. Why don't we do that? Let's do that. Let's bring. Just sign these waivers. If you float off into space forever, you get your money back.
You know, you are. Ever since I knew you, were an excellent salesman.
I make it right.
When I wasn't friends with you, when I came in,
When were you never friends? You were always friends with me.
when I came into the gym and you sold me on that,
I sold you.
and you gave me, you get free sessions, and I actually thought, oh, this guy Steve is going to be my trainer. No, this guy just standing there, just staring into space. And so
Who did you get?
Jim.
Oh, you got Jim. Oh. I wonder where Jim is now. So this, I'm glad. Again, I'd love to yield to your expertise here. So I'm reading this book. You know, I'm reading this book, The Visionary.
Yes,
I love this book, The
Yes.
Visionary in Charge. I always tell you about this guy. You know this guy,
of course.
or somewhat with this guy. So I'm on the chapter about the importance of titles for and how he really labors when he's pitching a show.
Mm-hmm.
About the title. He doesn't just throw any title.
Oh, sure.
And he wanted to dispel a couple of myths. He said, there's myths out there that titles should never be more than 3 words. That's a myth. Titles can be more than 3 words. Like, the best titles are always 1 word. That's also a myth. Unless you're talking about dumbbells.
Of course. Can't wait.
He talks about titles here. He's big on titles. And he says he's got a few bad titles of movies that were good movies, and he said prevented them from being blockbuster movies because of the title.
Okay.
And a couple of them that he names here is The Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. Do you know that movie where he keeps living again to fight in another? It's like a sci-fi type of
Yes.
thing. But it doesn't. Edge of Tomorrow means nothing to the movie, and it's not memorable.
Right.
You know, obviously he says the best, the Goodfellas, Scarface, the God, those are powerful, whatever they are. He says, Just Go With It. He named 2 Adam Sandler movies. He said Blended and Just Go With It. Terrible titles, would have been better movies. The Town with Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
The Changeling, Halt and Catch Fire. So he talks about. He says people. He said great titles: The Godfather, Goodfellas, Fight Club, Pulp Fiction,
Right.
Fast and Furious.
Action.
Yeah.
Action titles.
And then he
Titles
has
that
Die
sell.
Hard, Speed.
Yes.
You know, and he has this list of words that are action grabbing, and he has this whole ignition words that he says. So he really breaks down, title words, spiritual words, action words. So he tells you the words that are good for titles. Okay. So it got me thinking about titles. Okay, and one of my favorite titles, Jaws. That's all you need to know right there. Right?
Yeah.
Jaws. So this is what I was going to ask, and see, you're probably good at this. So I had a couple of movies, and we talked about this a long time ago, titles that had been changed before the title that we know it of the movie has. Give you an example. Like, do you remember the original title of Back to the Future?
I don't remember.
Spaceman from Pluto.
Really?
The producers wanted Spaceman from Pluto, and Spielberg went in to the producer because they said that's it, that's what they wanted. It was Spaceman from Pluto. Spielberg goes into the producers and says, he conned the guy. He said, he goes, I heard you wanted that as a title. That's really funny. And he made the guy feel like it was a joke
Right.
because he was like, no. And obviously they wanted Back to the Future. And the guy said, Back to the Future makes no sense. And he said, but it does to the story. So obviously that was better. The Breakfast Club had a couple of other titles.
Really?
The Lunch Bunch.
Oh, God. Hey, is this comedy?
No, that's true.
Okay, that's
No.
something you would write.
No, and the Library Revolution, because it was in a library. So,
Right.
But again, right? The Breakfast Club is so synonymous with that movie. It's such pop culture. It's like '80s. Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman with
was
Julia Roberts and the other guy, Richard Gere.
$8,000.
$3,000.
$3,000.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to call 3,000, just 3,000.
3,000.
Like, because that was what she.
That was how much he paid her.
Who would? That's pretty weak. Pulp Fiction had a different title.
What was that?
Black Mask. Black Mask. And Alien, the great Alien with Sigourney Weaver, was originally looking at two different. One. Star Beast, because they wanted it to sound like Star Wars, so they were thinking Star Beast. So that was it.
Cliche.
Very cliche. Toy Story had a few titles.
Okay.
Toy Story was going to be made in Taiwan.
No.
Which is
funny, but
it's funny, but it makes no
Yeah.
right. To Infinity and Beyond, which is his saying. It's not a great title. And Toys in the Hood. I know, so
That would have been really goofy.
Right.
No one would have gone to see. I'm not gonna go see this. Oh, but it's really good. Adults will love it too. No, it's so cheesy.
It sounds like a parody or something.
Toys in the Hood.
Toys in the Hood, right?
Oh, come on.
Casablanca.
Rick's Grill.
Close. Everybody Comes to Rick's,
Everybody comes to Rick's.
which was
something like that.
Humphrey Bogart's cafe was
Rick's American Grill.
Rick's American Grill, and that's where everything takes place in the movie. So they were going to call it that. And Scream, which you should get easy.
Scream.
Yeah, you should get this easy. I know people that are watching that are like screaming at the screen.
Phone Call.
Scary Movie. So then Scary Movie did the parody because they took what was going to be the title of Scream.
I did not know.
Yeah, so that was originally supposed to be Scream. So, but the book is interesting because he talks about titles. Oh, there was a couple. Halloween. I left out a few. Halloween. The great John Carpenter.
Right.
Babysitter Murders.
What is it called?
Babysitter Murders.
Nah.
Again, sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
Babysitter Murders. I saw a great Lifetime movie the other night with Rob Lowe. The Drew Peterson. He had 4 wives that he murdered. I'm saying the name wrong.
Yeah, I know.
You know who he was.
Yeah.
He had like 4 wives. He was a cop, and he went through a couple of different. And it was a really disturbing role for Rob Lowe, who I love. And his new game show is fantastic. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but it has to be.
Oh, okay. Well,
And when they do the trailer for it, did you see the trailer for it?
I don't.
The music comes on, it goes low, 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 low. You know that song? Gotta get low, low, and Rob Lowe. So it's all about Rob Lowe. It's nothing about. And I still haven't seen that guy that wrote this book. He's got a game show out with Jaleel White.
Jaleel White.
Yeah, Urkel.
Urkel, yeah.
Well, I don't know what that's supposed to be out or coming out. That's where he shot all the episodes already. I think I saw the trailer, but I don't know. And Saturday Night Fever.
What was that called?
Saturday Night Fever was called The Tribal Rights of the New Saturday Night.
Well, that was the article that
Right.
it was based on from New York Magazine.
Right.
That was the yeah.
So that was going to be the title of the movie, and the Bee Gees put a halt to that. They said they made them change that to Saturday Night Fever because they wanted to be in tune with what their music they were
Right.
doing. And last but not least, of course, Rocky. Rocky had hey yo, they were just going to call it that. No. And now I don't know if this is true, but I read this. It said the working title was The Contender. But wasn't there a movie, The Contender, back a long time ago?
There might have been.
Right?
But, yeah.
I don't know. I guess you can. I don't know.
But I think it's much better just called Rocky.
Well, of course. Well, that's why they were calling it The Contender. I guess they were trying to. I mean, everything sounds better now because we know the movie. So, like, obviously, Breakfast Club, Jaws, things like that are more. Well, but that was and Beetlejuice. Did you see the new Beetlejuice? You didn't see the new. Did you see it?
I did actually.
How was it?
It was good. I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't
A lot of people didn't love it.
spectacular, but it was fun.
I did not see that yet.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll go. Whatever. I know you enjoy this. There's a garlic festival on Long Island.
Who doesn't love the Garlic Festival?
Garlic, as Larry King says. You take garlic.
Garlic.
Look, they have garlic ice cream. Now, where is this nonsense? This is at the Long Island Garlic Festival. This is in love this. Water Drinker, Northport. $20. Do you know where this is? Water Drinker, Northport? I don't know. It's someplace out there in Long Island. Long Island's very big.
Fork.
On the North Fork. You should always use your North Fork first at the dinner table before the South Fork.
Okay.
Thank you. And vampires get in free at this event.
Well, gee, like they're gonna go in there. What great people.
The Nosferatu, which is what they originally called the Mafia family.
No, I did not know that.
Yes, back in Italy, they were known as Nosferatu.
Oh God, Mama, Nosferatu.
Actually, it was Cosa Nostra, but who's counting? I've been very much into the mob thing. I've been watching mob movies because I told you about that Michael Francese guy. I watch his podcast, and then it brings up and you hear these stories, and it's amazing. And I watched The Bronx Tale the other night.
Right.
It was so good.
Right.
And I don't know why I'm into. And then there's somebody. This is interesting, and you would speak on this too, because you know Massapequa history. You're locked into that. You know your town.
Right.
A guy is doing a GoPro is set up in the car, and he is going through Massapequa, and what he's doing is he takes you to 3 homes.
Right.
And he starts off with DeMeo, Roy DeMeo. And he drives, and nobody's living in the house now, but it's those pillars up in the Bar Harbor or Harbor Green area.
Right.
Very snooty, very, very mobby, very mobster over there.
Well, if it's mobsters, I'm very snooty.
That's true. It's very well. So then he was going to Carlo Gambino's house, who I don't think is still alive, right?
No, he's not. I was in high school when he died, and my math teacher lived right across the street. And she said the FBI went in and started digging.
Oh wow!
Under the house.
Wow.
The lawn was being done. Yeah.
Now, would you buy one of these ex-mobsters' homes? If the price was right?
Maybe if you got a little extra room there, hidden, little getaways.
You never know what you find when you're mowing the lawn, and all of a sudden maybe $100,000 pops up with an arm. Hey, look, Henry, it's an arm, a wing. So this guy, and I all of a sudden and again it all tied together because the Sopranos documentary came out.
Right.
So I was watching that and everything. I was just getting all. Did you still see that Wise Guy thing with David Chase, the Sopranos documentary?
I've watched a lot of it.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's very good.
It's very good.
And then talk about gangsters. I was, it's on History Channel. They going back to old times with all your favorite the foods that made America great.
Yes, I love that.
And how about that guy that Adolphos, whatever his name is, from Nabisco? He was a thug. Did you see how he just ripped that guy off the board? How he just told.
There was a lot of them that were like that.
Yeah,
they were
ruthless.
The Mars guy.
Yes.
The Mars guy.
Yes.
One of the brothers or the son, whatever it was.
And they're very mysterious, also.
Let me tell you something. You think the candy business is all sweets and chocolates?
No.
It's very ruthless.
Between Hershey and Mars, and especially on the Mars side, because it's like the CIA.
Yeah.
They are very paranoid.
That was that great story where the guy that left. Did he leave Hershey? And on the Hershey, he was fired from Hershey, and he was still on the site, and he was toiling with chocolate, and came up with the Reese's. His name was Reese, and the Reese's Pieces. And he partnered, and we talked about that. But
they bought.
But then they bought because they bought.
But Reese's they were based in Hershey, but they were a separate company. But they did purchase Hershey's chocolate.
Now, I just wanted to
and eventually, years and years later, Hershey bought them.
Of course they did. Hershey buys everything.
So
look at the face of a kid eating a Hershey bar. I used to love that commercial.
Talk about, don't laugh, but Mars buys a lot of things. They are a huge conglomerate now.
Yes.
They own pet food companies. They just bought Cheez-Its. They own Cheez-Its now. They got all these They've been buying out all these salty snack companies also.
Well, I'm glad to see they're doing good.
I feel good. You know what? Let's talk about Mars.
Well, here,
anything made by man.
If it's made by man, don't eat it. Mars, which is one of my favorite planets, by the way. This is not Eric. This is Dear Carolyn, but I thought you'd like this.
What happened to what's his face? Did they fire him? He's there. Okay.
But he's not. A lot of his I've noticed are very sad. They're not funny. I've noticed Eric gets the sad ones. Like people, it's just not good. But let me ask you this. Get yours. It's very short. An in-law visited us and snooped through our personal financial information. How do I know? He went running into the other room. Came back covered in sweat, then stood in front of files while an accumulation of his sweat formed a puddle on my floor. I shared this with my spouse, who had no response. But I no longer trust the relative, nor do I want him to stay in our house. Now, I have multiple problems here. This man is sweating over their financial records. And, like, if somebody came to visit you, and they were just dripping in sweat and hovered over your file cabinets, might you say, what are you doing? And why are you sweating on my taxes?
Perhaps.
The IRS doesn't like their taxes submitted with sweat all over it. I didn't know this.
That's why they gave Felix Unger the award for the cleanest, neatest...
Should I bring this issue up with the relative?
What does this Carolyn Hex... Hair?
Hacks.
Perfect.
Perfect. Carolyn Hacks, and that's no lie. It really does say that. She says, first of all, gross. Second of all, unmopped sweat pools alone are cause not to invite this person back. And I've said it, if I've ever started a lifestyle brand, it'll be called Septic Living, just to put a yuck from me in perspective. A little weird that did you ever have somebody do weird things in your house?
Not that I could think of.
Like stealing your financial documents while sweating? I'm not sure why he was sweating. And maybe he wasn't stealing financial documents. Anyway. So, what did we cover here? Really a lot of nothing. We understand Justin Bieber is in more legal trouble, than Justin Timberlake.
Right.
We understand he's impaired, but that's okay because he's bringing sexy back. We got a good title. Now, speaking of titles, what's better than the Steve Squared Show? Now, let's see if you know what my original title I thought of for the Steve Squared Show was. I had an original title. for this show. Speaking of time,
Steve and Steve.
nope.
Steve 2.
Well, that's the sequel. When the show collapses, then we have to reboot it. The Steve 2, which is Steve Squared, would be very confusing.
I don't know.
2 Steves in a pod.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You remember that? You get it? In a podcast,
Yeah.
2 Ps in a pod.
Yeah.
It's very good. 2 Steves in a pod.
Yeah.
A little weird, but a little off color. But I thought it was catchy. And then you have like a pea pod, and your head's on one side, my head's on the other.
That's
a little weird. That's more body snatcher.
That's awkward.
You think that's a little body snatcher coming out of a pea pod?
A little bit.
A little bit. That's a little bit. You know? Do you have a favorite mobster or gangster before we sign off? A favorite crime family?
I always had a soft spot for the Genovese families. Yeah,
I always worried about the Mario brothers. I thought they were a corrupt bunch.
of course.
Or the rigatoni crime family. The minestrone crime family working out of Umberto's. Yeah, all right. Why the, you said, who'd you say, the Genovese?
I don't know. I didn't get it. Wasn't as good a line as Luigi.
The Mario brothers. But I thought you're speaking of the Genovese crime family, they started off with just small drugstores. And they really blossomed.
Whatever.
No connection?
Sounds good to me. Well, there is some sort of family connection, but I don't think it was mobster.
Was Genovese there before CBS? Was there CBS's at the time, or was Genovese the drugstore?
Genovese has been around this area for a long time. CBS kind of creeped in. They were a big chain, and then they kind of creeped in.
But there's no more Genovese.
No,
They're long gone.
they're long gone.
Anyway.
Before we say goodbye, let's
Yes.
let everyone know
Oh yeah.
that if there's anything of interest on tonight's show, you can always check it on Newsday.com. Everything you need to know. There you go.
That's a shot at me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's an enormous shot at me on our show. I am nothing but love on this show. Steven ends it with a shot right in the solar plex. You know what he does? He gives the knee. I didn't even have a cup on.
We need to find another. We need to find another self-help.
Another self. Well, you know, if you're getting help, it's just help. It's not self-help.
Chrissy Hacks, whatever her name.
Caroline
Hacks.
Well, we got to get somebody else. Yes, maybe we got to go back to. I always love listening to Delilah, but I am not in the car that late, and my radio's not working.
Well, she's.
Is she even still doing
She's
it?
not sassy.
No, it's more wimpy. I need somebody with a
trying to
little.
make you feel better.
Yeah, I don't want to feel better.
She's trying to give you inspiration.
I don't want inspiration. I have enough. I like that guy in the story. I have perspiration,
There's
not
there's a
inspiration.
lot of pain in the world.
There is a lot, and the Steve Square show's here to inflict that pain.
That's it.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
We're angry and sarcastic and annoyed and jaded. We bring it all. We bring it all. We bring in sexy back. Anyway, don't listen to Steve. We enjoy Newsday. I'm sorry, Newsday, if you take that affront. You know, they're very big listeners and a sponsor, a proud sponsor.
Yeah, next year there'll be Celsius as a sponsor also.
Yeah, I think they're discontinuing us.
Oh.
But we will. It's not going to be the 30th. But the next show after that, the next time we'll be in the studio is the 30th, Tony told me, but the following show, or whenever the next time, will be that guy, Bob Spiato.
Wow.
He's a entertainer, he's a performer, and he dresses up as these, people of like Michelangelo, Teddy Roosevelt, and he's very good. Very good. He left me an 8-minute message telling me how good he is.
Oh, hopefully, maybe, I hope he comes in as Teddy Roosevelt. I love TR.
Oh, sure.
Love it.
Bully.
Right.
What was he, the Great Bear? No, what was his, he was, walk tall, carry a big stick?
Speak softly.
Speak softly and
carry a big stick.
Yes. That's the way you should always, that's the way the crime families do it. That's the way that he was a mobster before.
Look, maybe he does the polar bear. Maybe Pete Alonso. Can he do Pete Alonso, the polar bear?
I don't think he's going to do sports. He does he does Michelangelo. I don't know how you would do that. What is that? Who even knows what Michelangelo was? Like Italian, I guess? No, I know who he is.
Well, he doesn't probably do, it's what he talks about.
It's more what he talks about.
What he did and his beliefs.
Right, but he's not so much an impersonator. I understand what he is.
Interpreter.
He's an interpreter.
Of great historic people of import.
All right, you already lost me. Anyway, for myself, for Mr. Steven,
Thank you, Steve.
for who else for the thanks for the library for housing us today. I feel like we're in one of those undercover bunkers during a war. I feel like Wolf Blitzer.
Oh, hopefully someone will try to help us. We're halfway there.
And for Bon Jovi, for God's sake, give this guy something, a medal, medal of freedom. He's probably got that already. Anyway, thanks so much. You can go into Stephen R. Kaminsky on the Instagram, check out some bits and tips.
Funny man.
You can see Friday nights. Are you going to be back full force this Friday?
We'll be back.
WHPC. What is the call number? It's 92?
90.3.
90.3. I was going to say 92.3. That's the Shark.
No, that's not the Shark.
That's not the Shark.
That's 10-10 wins on 92.3.
This is why I'm not on the radio. This is exactly why I'm not on the radio. You want to know why? This is why. I can't get the call numbers right. WNBC.
That'll work.
WNBC. Anyway.